Hey subscribers, it's Zote here with my first gaming review for this series. Today's video will focus on the newly released PC version of Grand Theft Auto 5, where I'll be reviewing everything from the new controls to how the first-person feature feels within the game. So let's get started. Though this isn't actually a feature, the new controls are something that should be discussed since everyone's experience prior to the PC release was on a controller. It should be noted that you can still use a wired controller for Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PC. For those of us who are not using a controller, the keyboard and mouse duo are definitely going to take some people by surprise. The change to a keyboard isn't very intrusive when it comes to combat or story mode, but I did find that there were a few controls I did need to constantly use specifically during the multiplayer that I personally found somewhat disorienting. We'll start with the R button. If a bounty or someone with a price on their head is nearby in multiplayer and you press R, you will lock on to them. That's easy enough because we all love a nice lock-on feature. Unfortunately, this will happen anytime you press R, even if you're going to type in the chat feature and a word you want to use contains the specific letter, which would be R. I'm honestly not sure if this is a bug or feature that was implemented incorrectly, but it doesn't seem fluid with the rest of the game in the slightest. Is there a solution? Don't press R if a bounty is nearby, or reload prior to being within their vicinity. Unfortunately, this means you won't be able to reload and keep your camera angle if your clip isn't fully exhausted before the bounty gets to you. One easy fix would be manually changing your controls from the options menu so that the R button isn't overlapped. The first true feature that's on everyone's mind is the first-person experience new to the PC release. This is even better in 60 FPS when you can really appreciate the fluidity of how your character moves and interacts with the world and various vehicles that you get in. Rockstar even went a step ahead with this feature and added a filter when wearing a mask or glasses, which in my opinion just adds the immersive feeling that the game was going for. In my personal experience with playing the game, I found one neat thing to do was to go into all the various vehicles, look at the different dashboards and interiors, and get an idea of how much detail was actually put into this particular feature. Here's an example of the Titan military plane in first person. Specifically new to the PC are enhanced resolution options for monitors over 1080p. Unfortunately, my own monitor is only 1080p, but if I were to play on my laptop, I could have a resolution as high as 2880 by 1800. Along with this are the detail options for better graphics, along with the inclusion of NVIDIA's PhysX. For detail on what's supported, you can go to the GeForce Experience panel and find out other features within. On that note, this concludes my review of GTA 5 for the PC. The last thing I will say is that this game is the fastest selling game to date, and if you'd like to see what others have to say, feel free to hop over to the Steam page for the game and look at the community's response. As always, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for future game reviews.